Evil Squid Comics Podcast. We are part of the Collector's Maze Network.
Don.
Scott.
And Drew. All right. Ultimate Spider-Man 2024, I think. I don't know when it came out, but it's the new one.
It did come out 2024.
That's
and
when
it's
it's
ending.
That's
And
when
yeah,
it
it's
started,
ending.
was 2024 or whatever?
Yeah.
This thing?
It's
Wow.
fairly new.
2 years.
Well, it's fairly new, but I feel like that's still, now 2 years ago. But I guess maybe just a year and a half-ish or something. I don't know.
It's on issue 24, 23, 24. It's been going on for 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
It started January 24.
But we only read
Holy
the first
cow.
trade, the 6 issues.
I
The
guess
first 6 issues. So, Ultimate Spider-Man, it's in a bit of a different universe here.
Ultimate
And-
Universe.
Yeah, there you go. Which I know nothing about, but that's okay. You know, all I know is that Spider-Man is married to Mary Jane and has 2 kids and doesn't seem to have powers.
No powers.
I believe
So-
this all rolls out from Jonathan Hickman's The Maker, right?
Yeah, the
Fantastic
Maker
Four.
went. They explained it in
Yeah,
the series.
it is.
He
They
went
do
and he made
give
sure
you
there
like
were
a
no
little
superheroes.
gist
Right.
somewhere.
He goes back in time.
20 years ago, the Maker prevented a radioactive spider from biting Peter Parker and prevented the creation of a lot of other superheroes. When Tony Stark learned of the history, he sought to undo it, prompting the Maker's Council to attack Manhattan, killing thousands and framed Tony Stark for it.
Absolutely.
Peter Parker has lived his life unaware that the Maker's Council or the truth behind the spider.
But he's got this little thing in the back of his head that
He feels like
something's
he was
wrong.
meant for
He
something
was meant
different.
for something different.
Yes.
Don't we all feel that way?
Sure.
You
Okay.
bet.
I wish I had a cape that I could fly with.
I bet you do.
Yeah, I
Probably get
bet you
revenge
do,
on all the
man.
people
You
who
would take
wronged you.
revenge on a lot of people.
Almighty.
Glad
Yep,
you don't.
exactly right. So, you know what's interesting about this is, I found myself, I don't know how I put a lot of this. You, Don, are, from when I met you and everything else, a huge Spider-Man fan. I mean, you love it. You've grown up with it. Everything else.
Love it.
I know Spider-Man in general is just such a big character. It's been around for so long. It's hard to go around being a person that lives in the U.S. without knowing who the F Spider-Man is. And you probably know the backstory, some of the major characters, whatever, just from, listening to pulp culture in general in this country. Reading this, I just love the fact of how Hickman has taken these characters and the idea of Spider-Man and twisted it into an alternate universe where he's got a little bit of a sandbox to play and make it his own, but yet give this crazy just nostalgia factor, which I don't know if you remember it reading it at all, but as I'm reading this, I'm like, I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, but this is just fun. From the little that I know, just watching movies and what I've read when I was growing up, and stuff, things happen where I'm like, oh, that's fucking great, oh, that's great to narrative idea to do in this story, I just found myself, getting either goosebumps or giddy, in different narrative choices that were taken as I'm reading this story. It was very enjoyable, I guess, from that perspective of something that when Drew recommended it and go, hey, I read this, you might want to check it out. Going, why the hell do I want to jump onto a damn Spider-Man book, of whatever, it's damn Marvel stuff, and things. Do I really want to get engaged into something again? And then I look at it and I go, it's Jonathan Hickman. Okay, I'll give a little bit there. And then as I'm reading, I'm going, God damn it, Drew's right. This is pretty fucking good. So I found it I personally found it very entertaining and I enjoyed it. And because of maybe my expectations were fairly low or non-existent for something like this, I loved the hell out of it. Just really enjoyed it.
It took the core of what makes Spider-Man fun and interesting, and it kind of twisted it just a little bit, but yet made it kind of really solid and enjoyable. And so, it's nothing, like Scott said, nothing super innovative, but it has just enough new kind of twisty stuff, and and it's just enough types into that nostalgia that you're like, hey, this is pretty good, man.
Absolutely.
It's kind of enjoyable.
Yeah.
So obviously the Ultimate Universe existed before, right? They
Right.
had an Ultimate Universe. But the difference with the other one, that was just update. It's what if we took Peter Parker as Spider-Man, everything's the same, but now we're in 2000 and everybody has cell phones and we have
and it wasn't everything's the same,
internet.
but there wasn't as much that was different, right?
Right.
It was pretty
Yes,
straight.
it was very much just a
It was
pretty
like
much core reimagining.
trying to
let's tell the same
reimagine
story.
in whatever the current timeline was at the time.
Right.
You know,
Like, what if Spider-Man happened in 2000 instead of created in
Correct.
1960?
exactly.
But yeah, excuse me. Yes, this one is different.
Yeah.
But this one, decides to go, hey, let's not only give it into this certain current timeline, but we're going to flip it a little bit on its head and go, hey, here you go. What if there weren't superheroes in this particular universe, you know,
Right.
but we still had these same characters? And what if we show what some of these characters' lives could have been a little differently, you know, and maybe we start over then on when they got their powers.
Yeah.
You know, at least what I've seen with this, and even from the essence of what Tony Stark in general seems to be doing, where he's like going, I'm trying to get together a bunch of people that maybe have a certain set of skills, you know, so
For sure.
and bring them together.
Yeah. And also, I mean, like, you guys, I mean, there's a little bit of twist, but like, the twist is, you know, Aunt May is dead and Uncle Ben is alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And good friends with Jonah Jameson,
Jonah Jameson.
which I thought was interesting.
That's hilarious.
Kingpin's
the one
kind
thing
of
that
ruins some
so
stuff.
I had
But Matt Murdock is a priest.
Yes.
You know.
It's so weird because I read like the first 4 or 5 when they first came out and
Yeah.
haven't touched it since.
Sure.
So it's been like a year and a half since I've read Spider-Man.
Okay.
So when you said it, I went back and reread because I knew I didn't remember anything about it.
Yeah.
And I do remember though, like, it's one of those like, how stupid are you when he's sitting on the couch at midnight eating fucking ice cream and his daughter walks in and
no,
sees
totally.
him, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is the dumbest, like, this is. Yeah, I get it though because it's really cool because then it's a secret that the daughter
Yes.
and he have
Yeah.
and have a bonding moment.
Yeah.
And she picks out the cost. Like they have that little scene where it's like, no, that's too dark. Do it with a little color, but keep the blue. Yeah, and they
Yeah.
evolve into the.
Into the
But
uniform.
it's still like, you moron! Like you're trying to keep secret.
Yeah.
Why would you sit in your living room,
Well, I
even
don't-
if it's midnight? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, why would you sit in your living room?
Well, I didn't get
in
why he
your
didn't
costume?
tell his wife right away.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, why
he
didn't
held
he
it. That
say-
seemed kind of dumb.
that one
And
did
then when he
too.
told her, and she's like, "Oh, that's cool." It's like,
Yeah.
no, a wife would not say that's cool if you were keeping that from her. Are you
Yeah.
kidding
Well, it's
me?
also like because Peter and Harry become friends, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
they go out. They have
They're
that
like
thing
a
where they
team
go out
up,
to
yeah.
dinner.
Yeah.
And,
when freaking Gwen Stacy walks through,
Right.
I just about lost
Gwen
my
Stacy
shit.
is
I'm like,
married
of
to-
course.
yeah. To Norman Osborn.
Yeah,
Harry
I just,
Osborn.
in a lot of ways, it was like, I can't believe it. But in a lot of other ways, I'm like, this is so fucking cool.
Right.
I love it.
And Peter doesn't know who she is.
It's
They've
true
never met,
too.
right?
I know.
But and there's that scene where he's like, "You told your wife," or Harry's like, "You didn't." You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
I know. I loved it. And the fact that Harry is kind of, you know, it's that difference of, in some stories of Spider-Man, Harry and Peter are friends, you know.
Well,
a little bit.
they went to high school
So
together.
that's right.
But then after Norman dies,
Harry went out the deep
Harry
end.
becomes and then eventually he
whatever.
becomes
Yeah.
the Green Goblin.
Yeah,
That's right.
For the
But-
longest time, they were like buddies.
But
Yeah,
that's where I was going, is
right.
that because everything shifted now, you know, like 20 years from whenever they were, or well, I don't know, what are they now, in their 30s, you know, they're just now meeting and kind of becoming that friendship, you know, it's that different dynamic where, yeah, what if they met each other at a later time? Would they still have been friends, you know? And, you know, you don't have that whole thing of Spider-Man accidentally killing his dad, you know, or whatever it may be, that turned Harry against, you know, Spider-Man, you know, and so would they still be friends? Maybe, but you also know that there's a bit of dark undertones with Harry, I think, in general. So you got to watch out.
Well, I mean, in this universe, obviously, like Harry finds out that like the Kingpin is like behind all this, right? Like he's running the show, and he's behind his parents dying. So he creates the Green Goblin or the Goblin persona to take his revenge on Kingpin.
On Kingpin,
because he's
got a different place to
Harry-
go with his anger
Right.
rather than Spider-Man.
Well, he's also
you know?
kind of like he's like a vigilante, right?
Oh,
But he's
yeah.
kind of a good guy. He's not like insane and a bad guy.
He has a certain reason.
He's
for
more
what
like
it
the
is.
Punisher, right?
He
Like
is.
he's a
He is.
vigilante
He's got
like
that
the Punisher.
vigilante, that kind of is willing to do whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, vigilante type.
But yeah,
But yeah, I enjoyed
good.
the dynamics, and like I said, the certain nostalgia of being reimagined, you know, just I thought was fun. You know, the narrative choices that were taken, like
Right.
Gwen Stacy being Harry's wife. I should have seen it coming, but I sure as hell didn't. And when she walked through the door, I'm like, oh, fucking of course. It's fucking great. Some of that stuff I just thought was great.
It's also done really well, right?
Yes,
like
absolutely.
Hickman, I mean, it's done
Checchetto,
well.
yeah.
Checchetto is on the art. It's really good artwork.
Yes, it is.
I mean, you could do this with somebody else that just kind of fumbles the ball and
Sure.
it just turns
Yeah.
out to be
No, it's
mediocre.
not-
Oh, it could have been total crap with somebody
Yeah.
else. But yeah, I definitely give a lot to the team that they put on this.